Tonight, 2 ongoing investigations at a Tallahassee shelter after accusations of abuse and poor conditions. Good evening. I'm Mika Highsmith. Thanks for joining us for WTXL, ABC 27 News at 5:30. WTXL's Rockman Johnson is live now at the shelter along Tennessee Street. And Rockman, you have an exclusive interview with the director of the shelter. What is he telling you tonight?
Thanks, Mika. And tonight we're here at the shelter. It's a charity that for the past 20 years has had a mission to serve, 25 years rather, has had a mission to serve Tallahassee's homeless. But right now they're under investigation. A minister and a homeless advocate went undercover at the facility just days ago and was allegedly propositioned by center staff. And she says that's only the beginning. Local homeless activist Renee Miller had heard complaints from local homeless men and women alleging abuses of power at the shelter. It's a local residential facility for the homeless, from not allowing men and women to bring their own blankets to throwing away their belongings. The allegations were coming from different people far too often.
It just didn't match up with experiences that I had when I went to the shelter and had interactions with staff.
But on Sunday, February 10th, Miller took matters into her own hands. She put on a red wig and went undercover to see if what they were saying was true. And what Miller discovered horrified her.
The shelter staff opened the door and looked at her and said, "You're past curfew, so you're not staying." Didn't let her in, and I thought, oh no, he's not going to let me stay. And then he said, "You come with me."
According to Miller, the staff member then allegedly propositioned her and invited her home with him.
"It's going to be much better for you if you just come home with me."
By the end of the night, she says he came to check in on her 4 times, reminding her not to discuss the arrangement and to be ready when his shift ended. A former shelter resident says that things like this are not uncommon, but no one wants to speak up.
And not wanting to speak out because they're afraid people are going to treat them differently once they check in at night.
When City Commissioner Andrew Gillum got wind of the allegations, he immediately posted a statement on his Facebook page and called for an investigation with the city manager's office.
When I read the very, very unfortunate account of what Renee experienced in this situation, it reaches at all of our heartstrings.
Commissioner Gillum worked with the Leon County Sheriff's Office to ensure that there were officers on site for the entire weekend and to be on the lookout and take statements if needed.
The biggest concern is making sure that we are continuing to provide safe, accessible homeless services in our community.
Now, there is no timetable as to when the investigation will finish, but for now, the accused employee has been placed on administrative leave.
I don't want their money. I also don't want them to be defunded or unsupported.
Now, Miller said the reason that she did this is so in some small way that she could help the homeless of Tallahassee. Now, I'm here live with Mel Eby. He's the agency executive director or agency director of the homeless shelter. Tell me, hearing these allegations and knowing how hard you've worked for the past 25 years, number one, how does it make you feel?
Very disappointed that somebody would try to, defame what we have here. She dropped the ball that night when she didn't ask for me. TPD, the Tallahassee Police Department, was here. She made a charge that a second employee shoved her to the floor and shoved her so hard that she fell to the floor, and yet I'm not allowed to know who that employee is. How can I take action? That's a battery. The police should have looked for him, asked for me, find the employee, identify him, and have him arrested.
What has the City Commission, I know I spoke with Commissioner Gillum earlier today, he said they're investigating as well as the United Way, and you guys being a United Way agency. What have you heard from any of your official funding sources so far?
Nothing so far, except there is a meeting set up with the United Way. But if they want to help me, they'll find out who the employee is that she says shoved her so hard she fell to the floor so I can take action. How can I correct situations if I'm just hearing innuendo and rhetoric and hyperbole?
Now, she said that this is not the first time. There are other allegations as well. Those were that they're bed bugs and they need pests. She said that there are homeless people who come that the only thing they have in the world is their backpack with their Social Security card, birth certificates, and those things are being thrown out. So there are other allegations as well. Have you heard this before in dealing with some of the residents here?
Bed bugs have been a problem for about 1.5 years. We don't hide from that. FSU has a problem in the dorms. They have a lawsuit pending now by a father who had to pull out his daughter. So I mean, it's all over Tallahassee. It's been in motels. 4 new people come in every day. So they're going to, bring in new bags of luggage that come from another shelter, from a motel. And the pest control companies say it's very hard to eradicate. All you can do is try to manage it. you know, see where the problems are and work on it.
Go ahead. Well, Director Eby, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us. And if you want more information, I know the City of Tallahassee says you can check with tal.gov to get information from them, and Commissioner Gillum is soliciting inquiries. You can also find out more on WTXL.tv. I'm Rockman Johnson from Downtown Live, ABC News 27.